Welcome back to the Hip Hop Report. This is Rambo Hustle, and today we'll be discussing new music, starting with Limotintblk, or like I like to pronounce it, Limotintblk, and his brand new record, Still Blessed. Now, honestly, I'm one of these people that it doesn't matter what's going on. Whenever I open up YouTube, if there's a new artist with a buzzing record, maybe a video that just broke through 1 million views, or anything along those lines, if something pops up on my feed, I assume it's because it's getting momentum. And there's no better time for me to check out a new artist than when it has momentum. And so for me, anytime I see an artist like this that's kind of breaking through, I always hit play. Because that's what hip hop is all about, discovery. That's what being a fan of hip hop and a supporter of hip hop is all about, discovery. Finding new artists, finding new music, and then championing it. Because what else am I going to talk about? Gossip? Bullshit? You know what I mean? We're here to talk about music. And so for me, whenever a new artist throws me some new music, I always check it out. I always hit play, and I try my best to provide good feedback. Now, for me, I definitely look forward to this channel becoming more about artist discovery and music discovery than just artists that you guys already know, but naturally that's what just gets a lot of traction. But if we can generate a community that is open and ready to consume and be introduced to new artists, new talent, and new music, I think we can generate a pretty cool ecosystem where we can actually know about new music way before it becomes big music. Now, with that being said, Limotintblk comes at you as a new name, new brand, new entity, one of his most transparent and honest records to date. Now, Still Blessed is everything that a hip-hop record should be. The production is smooth, it's beautiful, it sounds emotionally engaged, but at the same time, Limotintblk is giving you all of his pain, all of his hardships, all of his losses of his loved ones, of things that he cared about, the things that he's had to go through that on your average person generate trauma and regret and resentment and feeling jaded with life, and let alone music. I mean, if you've ever pursued music or created music and done it for years and invested tons of time and money and effort and never got anything from that, it's really easy to fall into a sense of resentment. And so with Still Blessed, we get almost everything that could possibly go wrong with somebody's life. We get real names. We get real references that maybe on the shallow level, it doesn't mean anything to you because you don't know these people personally. But that's where listening to music and being a fan of music and listening with empathy can be a really good key for you as a fan and as a listener. Because now if he says that his aunt passed, even though you don't know his aunt and you don't know her name, you might have an aunt that passed. So you might have an aunt that's close to you that you can then connect to that experience with, because it's not all about you, it's about us, it's about the community. And I think Limotintblk really gives us allows the windows to come down and allows us to see inside of his life experience and what the last however long time this record covers, to understand a little bit more about where he's coming from and what this new chapter in his artist lifeline is going to be about. And so for me, like I said before, I think the instrumental is beautiful, the mix is solid, and it sounds like everything that hip hop is supposed to be. Love, beauty, and pain, all in one MP3. Now, the second record I got for you today is from an artist named Chris E. Bandz. He comes from New York and he has a record called New York Minute. Now, the record is honestly one of my favorite records right now. The kid has a crazy flow. He's got a super laid-back demeanor about him, and even stylistically, like his fashion sense is very. It's got a very like hipster / street kind of persona to it. But more importantly than any of this, it's the hook. It's the way he's delivering the melody. It's the way that he delivers his cadence that makes me feel like this kid has tons of potential. It reminds me of like a really young 50 Cent, maybe not a street, maybe not as tenured in street politics, but I don't know. I don't know too much about Chris Bandz. This is my first time hearing him. Mano follows him, and there's a couple other people that follow him as well that made me think that he is an artist with a growing buzz. But for me, as a first-time listener, as somebody who just wasn't aware of him 24 hours ago.
Come to them bands, you know who gon' get it. I can run up some bands in the New York minute. Fuck around and put home in the New York.
This really kind of sinister sample that almost sounds like it's making fun of you, in addition to the Ron Brow's drum loop. If you guys are familiar with Pop Champagne and a couple other records that came out during that time, I think Red Cafe used that as well. But nonetheless, I mean, if you know what this flow is about and you can catch the flow on this, you know why I'm excited, because Chris Bandz seems to have that presence on record that is hard to find, and you can't even teach this. This is just something that, to be able to deliver something this cocky and this confident and also be laid back, is something we really haven't seen since Curtis Jackson came out. Now, you could say other people have this, like Fabulous and Jadakiss and things like that, but this is a new artist. This is a new kid. Whenever you get a chance, make sure you hit play on Chris E. Bandz and his brand new record, New York Minute. The third and last record that I wanted to talk about was Liim. Now, I've been seeing this music video, R.I.P. Peace, for probably a month and a half or so. New artist. The video's super cool, kind of trippy. It looks like somebody did one too many hits of acid. But overall, like, the vibe on the record is cool. He's from New York also. He's got this kind of laid back, cool flow. He's got some melody to it. The video's what really catches your attention because it's almost like purposely bad quality. Think of like Doja Cat's Moo music video that ultimately ended up being her big viral moment and took her to the next level where people started checking for her. Because even before the Moo record, she had amazing songs and amazing videos, well produced and looked sharp and looked professional, like she was a major artist, but nobody cared. It took for her to put French fries in her nose and create this for her to catch her big break. And unfortunately, in today's age, social media, etc., that's just what it takes, because, you know, fans don't really care to be just fans. They want to be entertained. And unfortunately, when the fans don't want to think, they don't want to get anything deep, but they also want to be entertained, then you're left with mindless bullshit. And I'm not saying R.I.P. Peace is that. I think the kid's super talented. The video's super cool. It reminds me of like old ass like Apple computers and the way that like the artwork, and this is like a music video made on like Microsoft Paint or something like that. But nonetheless, the record is fire. I like the vibe, and I'm definitely excited to listen and dive in a little bit deeper into what Liim is actually bringing to the table.
Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. If you want the latest and greatest, do it for the game. Music breaks. These are the breaks. Music breaks. These are the breaks. Music breaks. These are the breaks. Oh, oh.